Good morning from the north. Well, our angel friends here, despite their nipped fins, they should have long fins, these fish, but anyway, um, they got nipped downstairs. Despite their injuries, they have laid a batch of eggs. Now, these fish are too young, and I don't expect much out of these eggs, but at least they're a pair, you know? We'll get something out of them in the months to come. Maybe some will hatch, but I doubt it. The lights are just coming up on the Discus tank. The sun's starting to come up earlier outside, so the daylight's also coming in. It's a nice, sort of a nicer look, morning look on the tank now. Get that springtime sun. Oh, the beauty of success, huh? Look at that. It's just awesome. I love these fish. I'm telling you. I've had all kinds of fish, but these fish, when you win the discus game, it feels good. And what the discus have taught me is a big part of winning that game is barrel resting my water. And because I started buying barrels, I started playing with barrels. Nice thing about the rain barrels is you can find them used for next to nothing. People sell these things just to get them out. They bought them, they had a garden, they gave up on the garden. You know, they were keeping rainwater from the roof in the barrel. And as long as no one's been putting chemicals in them, and no one ever does, they're good to go. If you get them fresh out of a backyard, they're even loaded up with bacteria for you. Yeah, but you can also buy like 80-gallon barrels if you're going to spend money for under 200 Canadian dollars. And they're probably $80 to $100 in the States. So, you know, say you have a 75-gallon tank and you're finding you're having water volume issues. Well, you just put a barrel beside it. It doesn't take up a lot of floor space. The water stands tall, vertical, and then you link it into your 75-gallon tank. You know, you get yourself an 80-gallon barrel. These are only 60, but the 80s will be a little taller, not by much. They're actually narrower and taller, the 80s, so you get a better footprint out of them. But anyhow, and then you just link them in like I have here to your system. In this case, I have two 75-gallon tanks, and one of them comes down, goes in the one barrel. It's all gravity fed. Well, I've got some pumps feeding these tanks off to the side, and the Oscar tank out around the corner, but they essentially operate as a super sump. And I've barrel boosted the water volume in my system. I don't know why everybody isn't doing this. It's not for fish. It's for less water changes, easier water changes, because I do all my water changes through the barrels. I don't have to touch the tanks. The only reason I have to touch the tanks is to clean filters and do gravel facts. The fish never see their water sink down to a few inches high and go through that stress. They don't even know it's happening. I don't know. It's not a new concept. They call it a centralized system. But the only place I've ever really seen it happen is in pet shops. And even still, I've got this little bit of a unique spin to it. And it works like a charm. I mean, they even redesigned the concept of overflows. I built the simplest overflow I've ever seen on YouTube, and it works. It works maybe as well, if not better, than the other options out there, and it's cheap and easy to make. it's not disruptive. I don't have PVC like all over the place. I just have one run of it in the corner, and then a tube running up the back, and that's it. There's nothing outside my tank other than the tubes that come out and go in to water out, water in, and that's it. I run it at 400 gallons an hour because it pumps up a few feet. It might be 360, and you don't need heavy flow for this barrel idea. All you need to do is exchange the water consistently, and slower flow is both good for the biomedia to do its job, as well as all the UV light there in this tube. All the water in the system passes through this tube. The system has 450 gallons of water in it, and it goes through that tube once an hour. Every drop of it gets irradiated. Every single drop of it. Easy mode. You know what? Setting that up cost me less than probably 10 plants. And it's doing the job of thousands of plants. And this is just some food for thought, right? We all know there's more than one way to skin a cat in this hobby. Cats and fish, right? I don't know if it's appropriate to even say that nowadays, but yeah, that's how I did it. And in all my life, I have never had water quality like this. I've kept tanks in 1,000 different ways with all manners of filtration. I never tried canister filters until recently. I wasn't really impressed with them, to be honest. I find some to be superior, especially when you have control over how big they could be. Go big or go home. And that's all there is to it. Look at the clarity. This water's days old. Days old. Everybody's just waking up. Look at that clarity. Look at my bio load. It's a 120 gallon tank linked into 450 gallons of water. And it's gorgeous with like a zillion big fish in it. Look at the health. Barrel boost. It's so easy to do. Get her done. Change your fish keeping experience for the better. I've thoroughly tested this out, this concept out, and it's absolutely amazing. There's strengths and weaknesses to every approach. I'm sure there are weaknesses to this approach. One of them would be if my system got infected with ick. But guess what? You just buy the pond, the pond grade ick solution. It's dirt cheap, easy fix. It's really not a big deal. That's the only sort of thing that could go wrong in this setup, is something that spreads fast like that. So in this, because down here I'm running 76 degrees, ick would have a field day. My Discus setup, I run it warm. Ick won't survive in my Discus setup. And we're going to be doing this now because I'm so confident in how well this works. I'm in the process of slowly assembling what I need to do this upstairs to the Discus setup, and it's going to be truly amazing. There won't be barrels involved. Up there, the barrels will be for water change, but simply and only because I'm space restricted up there. But if I could, I would. I just can't. There will be ugly pipes running all over my house, and I just can't go that far. So, I definitely have ideas, but there's just sometimes you got to put the brakes on. Let me tell you, if I had tens of thousands of dollars in my bank, I would create things that would blow your freaking minds. Maybe in the next few years, that'll happen. Maybe it'll happen. You never know in this world. One day everything goes to shit. Then the next day you're balling again. It's just how it goes. I hope you all have a wonderful and successful rest of your day. Thanks for watching.